BRB Network TV with Brian Hertzock.
Did you know that there was a free counseling service right here in Baton Rouge for your business? Specifically, one-on-one consultation services include business startup and acquisition consultation, business plan development, marketing and management assistance, financial and cash flow analysis, business loan source and loan packaging preparation, and procurement assistance. Let's go ahead and go a little bit deeper with Dean Andrews. Go ahead, Dean.
Thank you, Brian. Again, we have Mr. Greg Spann with us, who's the director of the Small Business Development Center at Southern University. And he's going to tell us a little bit about what it takes to be successful in business, and he's going to walk us through the process of someone utilizing their services at the Small Business Development Center. Mr. Spann, could you give us an idea of how these services are provided to your clients?
Okay, with respect to startup businesses, there are numerous persons out there who want to be rich, and they have the interest, desire, and passion to become small business owners. We feel that we're an excellent resource for this type of person because we can actually sit down with that client in a confidential setting and walk them through the process of what it takes to be a successful small business owner. So in this regard, the first step would actually be to help that client develop a business plan. We sit down and explain why a person should go through the time and effort of developing a business plan, which will help them to determine what is it going to cost to start the business. It helps them to develop their marketing strategy. It helps them to determine the types of talented people that's needed to operate a business. And more importantly, it's going to help this client determine how much revenue do they need to make, what would be their expenses to operate the business, to find out whether or not the business will be profitable on paper. When we find that it is profitable on paper, then the next step would be, where's the financing going to come from to help launch the business? So that's either going to come from equity financing, which will be the money that the client would actually put up to start the business, as well as debt financing from a commercial lending institution. So we have the ability, as I stated earlier, to look at what the client's financial needs are and to put them in a financing program that will be best suited for their need.
Well, Greg, do I have to come on the university campus to get all these services? Is it more an academic exercise? Is it a practical exercise in terms of how I can actually utilize these services to get my business going or to grow my business to the next level?
No, the client, one of the reasons why we're physically located off campus is because oftentimes clients may find the university setting a little intimidating. So we're physically located off the campus to ease that burden. We also have ample parking. Our Small Business Development Center is headquartered off of College Drive. We're actually at 4826 Jamestown Avenue. And so we're in the central area of Baton Rouge that gives the client some comfort with this. And so in this regard, we will sit down with that client at no cost, as I mentioned, in a confidential setting, and really find out where they are in the process in terms of what research they've done. We have a lot of industry data. We have a lot of research data that we can share with the client to help them look at the feasibility of their business that they're starting.
Now, you talk a lot, Greg, in your operation about business impact and growing businesses. In terms of getting businesses from startup to being from small size to medium size, what does it really take, and what do you find to be some of the sufficiencies? Do they understand more or less their business from a financial point of view, from a marketing point of view? Do they really have a plan, and are they able to execute that plan? Could you talk a little bit about what we can do more or less to help improve the businesses that are currently out there? We're in a business recession. The president has been talking about providing more funding and financing to small businesses. How can your center more or less help these businesses in terms of moving forward and growing from small to medium-sized businesses?
Yes, many times, as I stated earlier, clients are looking to start a business. We make the assumption that the client has the technical skills to do what they're doing, but oftentimes the major challenges for small businesses is to get financial assistance. Oftentimes the client does not realize all of the skills that they need to launch the business, because many businesses are usually started with a 1 or 2 person operation. Unfortunately, we're not experts in every area, but we do the best that we can. And so the key fundamental areas in a business is the operation, the marketing and the finance component. And so, as I stated, one of the greatest services we can provide is if the client provides us with the financial startup costs, we have the ability to actually generate financial projections to help that client look at their business from a financial management standpoint, because really, believe it or not, that's the key to long-term success. The other challenge that most businesses face is we have credit issues and lack of equity investment for the business.
So you're saying some of the businesses may not have enough capital to start, may not have enough capital to expand?
That's a big problem for startup as well as for existing businesses. Oftentimes, we use the term bootstrapping, whereby the person is eager to launch their business. They may have difficulty getting financing due to credit issues or lack of equity financing, and they just do the best that they can. Unfortunately, when you launch a business, it's going to take, first of all, the general public to know that you're even in business. Secondly, it may take a while for them to decide to do business with you. Meanwhile, you have rent to pay, you have a telephone expense, utility expense, and so the business needs working capital to sustain the business until the business becomes self-sustaining. And so our job is really to sit down with that client to help them analyze their working capital needs to make certain that they could be profitable and successful in business.
Okay, Greg, well, we're going to go back to Brian right now. We're going to come back and we're going to talk about some of those success stories that you've had with the Small Business Development Center at Southern University. All right, back to you, Brian.
Stick around. We'll be back with BRB Network TV, the Southern University College of Business edition, in just a moment.